Oh yeah, good start. Steaming tea. Start. Huh. Switch this on. Reset this. Got to activate all the buckets and zero the bins. I remember how. Sweet. Off we go. Very noisy. I'll show you the bagging side of things. So on the right here we have a bag placer. First time I've really stood at it. It's quite a lot going on in there. Put the saps on so we don't have to. So I've many memories of when I was little, putting bags on day in, day out, and it's about as dull as it gets. And it's actually a really dusty place to stand. This machine was new to us this year, and it's been really good. I'm really chuffed with it. On the left here, we have a Manta weigher. That's weighing really quite accurately, so we're not giving produce away. And then down here, with the bag's done, if there's a failed stitch, the places are spilled. A little red sensor now, Mel, detect a spilled bag and stop the line. But actually, since we've had this machine, it's not really done many. How's that? So what I'm doing here anyway, I am grading them. So this is probably the most important job in the process. What goes in the bag I have to be sure of. You might ask, what are we picking all this stuff up for? Why do we need to inspect? Well, things like this is what we call a dolly. So this potato's dwarfed, and this and that, or that will fry different to this bit, or that bit will be different to that. So when you put it in the hot fat to fry them as chips, each one will fry a different shade of darkness, and that's not tolerated. So that's that. Stones, you wouldn't want to eat that. And this is a mummified rot. Clods. This one I thought was okay, and then I chopped into it to check, and it's got some sort of internal rot going on. Just mechanical damage. It's like some sort of bird attack. It might be a pheasant. These are what we call it. This is a different age of dolly. So this is that'll fry one colour, and that will, one, bung the weigher up, and two, fry different to the main part of it. This is not like an obscene dolly. There's loads of them this year. It's not normal. And then too big. You probably won't see them this big, but what happens with these, it'll probably be hollow. So I've chopped into it to show you. And it doesn't smell, but it's just starting to break down. And then you get like these strange mutanty things. It's just a freak of this year. And another one, there's lots of them in this Sagita this year. So there we are. So it's largely stuff you wouldn't want to eat yourself, really. Good morning. It was a frosty start, so why wouldn't I want to work on cold metal? What we have going on is the batteries on here I see was all furring up, and that's the sort of thing when contacts get furred up and corroded like these are, it only goes wrong when it's in the middle of nowhere and it'll be the coldest day with the highest wind. It'd be grim. Also, there's no rubber under the battery, so the batteries are sitting on the cold counterweight slab. Batteries don't like that, so I'm going to get them on rubber as well. So I'll just show you in here. It's all quite fiddly, all getting green and growing, but the best one, that one in there, look, how on earth do I get in there? So I've got one battery out. Yeah, I'm going to do the second one. I'm just trying to get this side plate off so I can actually get in there. Looks like I'll have to take the whole lot off. Sides off, good access again now. Well, say good access. It's better than it was. But there's the battery. You can see all the corrosion and something about batteries and like corrosion just go hand in hand. To show the extent of that hidden away little gem in there. Yeah, it's got "let you down" all written all over it. I'm just about to tip some boiling water on because I can't actually work out anything what's on that plug. Clean it up prior to taking it off, really. I'll do a better job once it's off. Yeah, this one as well. That's why I couldn't get it off. I thought the nut was actually on the other side. This one's not so bad. This was in view, so this would always be the better one. So I normally put stainless steel nuts and bolts and washers on, the fiddly ones as well. Oh, that clamp's actually rotted through. It's cracked. Darn. Wouldn't move before. Quite heavy crud at the bottom of this. That one wasn't so bad anyway. This one was pretty shocking. So that's the batteries all put away, good and proper. It's shined all the earths up. All battery spray to protect them. 2 new clamps. It's all good. All good. It should be reliable now. I think that would have took a day, probably a day in the field. Anyway, a week's passed since I had my concoction up to do the tracking. So I just bought 2 tape measures because I realised I had none. Or they've all gone. So it's roughly how I do it. It's very crude, very agricultural. No, it's not. That's doing agriculture just a disservice, but it is accurate. A little bit out, a little bit toe in. Is it in criteria? I'll have to look in the book. So I've just freed off the lock nut, took this sort of pretty cover off. Freed off the lock nut, 1 turn on there, and it's made it 1/8 of an inch the wrong way. So it's quite a quick response. The book says towing of 1 mil, so it's plus or minus 1 mil, so it's fairly tight tolerance. So I'll just tweak this out, so I need to wind it the opposite way to what I did do. Yeah, so after a bit of to and fro and adjusting it the wrong way a few times, I'm within 1.5 mil, so for how old is this tractor? It's getting on now. 07. I don't think that's too bad. Hopefully it'll mitigate that, but I mean, these tyres are bloody old anyway. I mean, they're original. I've seen younger crack up at a year old, so yeah, they're doing all right. Anyway, I'll get this off and get the front weight on. Or need to mention the spacers are on there, so it misses the tyres. I never did say that before. Good day. So I was feeding some fertiliser. It's nice to be out. Crop's looking really quite stressed. So where the hills are, happy. Where it's low, the stress is so exaggerated. It's quite shocking. Manganese showing up. Poor rooting. It's going to be a weird combining this year. We've not had many windless days for using a spinner in the last few weeks. It's plenty windy enough today, but the rest of the week is like 30 mile an hour. So I'm going to do another couple of hours, get all this urea on, and then have to knock off. Urea doesn't like the wind. It's quite bulky but light. You see it's travelling okay. So you can see the stress there. Well, that's mainly manganese. I wanted some manganese on a few weeks ago. It never got done. Boy, it shows now. So this is quite an acidic soil, or naturally, well, quite a black soil, so it's got acidic tendencies. So you get the pH right, and then that makes manganese hungry. Yes, the fields like this are a total pain in the arse. Fairly good wheat either side, and then obviously these ponds in the middle. Travelling quite firm. Wow. It's a bit unnerving. Switch the spread off now. It's just very, very weird, isn't it, driving through water like this? It's just wrong. But then we've had over the years amount of rain in well, up till now, and we're only early March. It's crazy. So this is about 30% of the field actually under a puddle, which is pretty tragic when you've got a mortgage to pay. Well, if not a mortgage, you'll have rent. Either way, it's 30% of the field not paying its way, which if you're the average person, you would think, so what, that little bit won't make a difference, but it does. I mean, there was problem bits on this field anyway, but it's really, really shocking this year. This is probably one of the last ones under the old drainage scheme, but it's about defunct now. Never had the drainage jetters in time to save them. Not just that, the low areas have gone lower, they've mineralised more, so that the drains are actually running backwards. Switch the spreader off over this wetland. I guess we'll have to, well, when it dries out, in another month, 6 weeks, I guess we'll have to put some fodder radish or something in here to sort of re-aerate and open up the soil a bit. carefully switching the puddles off, or the sections of the puddles off. There we go. Well, it's fancied a fishing lake, but the shape's wrong. Oh, this is a bit gooey. It's funny, I have to do this wet bit to get a bit on there, which is brilliant. But it looks a shambles this side. Oh my word. See that on the camera, don't really want you to see it. So traditionally in the fens you would have sugar beet and you would lift it and then you would plough it and combi drill it in and it all's rosy, except when you get a lot of rain after. I mean, look at this. I can't believe I got out. Absolutely balls deep. Can't believe that. That is the last time I'm ever going to plough and drill after root crops. It is a waste of time. And I did forget to say, the spreader has only got 230 kilos when I went through there in it. So, it's exhausting doing all this filming in the morning. In, out, and out. It's like goes on behind the scenes on your own. Just coming back round into the farmyard now to fill up. I didn't think I'd be able to get anything done today. I thought it would have been a wet morning, but it's alright so far. Tacky.